Kenny Brooks will begin his second year as the head coach of the women's basketball team at the University of Kentucky, joining the Wildcats after having served for 8 seasons as the head coach at Virginia Tech. He and his wife, Chrissy, just bought their home in Lexington this summer. It is written for me that the home has a pool. His wife is teaching him to swim. He is teaching her how to shoot a proper jump shot. I can identify with the next line, which is Kenny believes he loves golf, which means when he's out and playing, it's enjoyable despite the score, and we probably are both competitive people. We have to put that aside. It also means that neither of us have enough time to perform at the level we generally expect of ourselves, which breeds its own frustration. He has 1 daughter more than I, so 3 daughters. Quote, I don't know if being a father of 3 daughters has made me a pretty good women's basketball coach, or if being a women's basketball coach has made me a pretty good father of 3 daughters. Welcome to the stage, University of Kentucky basketball coach Kenny Brooks.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Commissioner. I did buy a new house this summer, and I got smart. Because I used to think I could swim, and my wife used to be a lifeguard. And finally, after 27 years of marriage, she told me that I didn't know how to swim, and that she would teach me if I was willing to listen. So I said, well, if you're willing to come in and let me change your jump shot, I'll listen to you about swimming. And needless to say, I'm a much better swimmer right now, and thanks to her. So I really appreciate her efforts and being patient with me. But excited for year 2. Obviously, as you go into something that's brand new like we had to endure last year, there are a lot of unknowns. And coming into the University of Kentucky, where there's rich tradition with their basketball programs, you really didn't know what to expect. But Lexington and the university has been nothing but great to me and my family. It's been a tremendous transition. I thought last year we did a really good job of setting the foundation for where we want to be as a basketball program. And that was largely in part due to our leadership and with Georgia Amore, who came with me from Virginia Tech, who had been with me for a very long time. It was kind of like a cheat code. She's like my little mini-me. And the things that we were trying to do on the floor, she could really take what I was really trying to say into the locker room. And that's something that's very, very special to any coach, to have that right there with you. And then you couple that with Deja Lawrence, her willingness to really adapt to a new role, new surroundings. And together, their leadership is really the big reason why we were able to set a foundation, one that I think that's going to really help us in the future. And it has really helped us last year. We put together a team of 11 new players going into a brand new league with not really a whole lot of expectations. And our only expectations were that we knew how good we were, how good we could be. The kids did a fantastic job of just really rallying around each other. Even when we hit adversity, no one really put their head down. They just kept working a little bit harder. And what we encountered after that was a fantastic season. We were picked 8th. Last year, we came in 4th. We had a chance, we were competing the last couple weeks for a top spot in the SEC tournament. So along the way, we had a lot of wonderful performances. As I mentioned, Georgia Amore, I thought she had the best basketball year of her career coming into this league, which was very, very hard to do because there's so much talent in this league. But I thought she left her mark, really helped elevate us. Clara Strack, we're very, very proud of her accomplishments and what she was able to do because she was an unknown to me. I didn't really know what she was capable of doing, but it's all she did is came out and averaged about 16 and 10, Defensive Player of the Year as a sophomore, and I think that she's going to continue to improve on that. And then you look at the likes of a Tiani Key, who didn't do a whole lot in her stint at the University of North Carolina, but she came in with a lot of confidence, played extremely well for us last year, and her confidence is booming this year, and I'm looking forward to what those two are going to be able to accomplish because both of them are 6'5" mobile post players It gives us an opportunity to do a lot of different things that you normally would see with post players. So I'm excited to watch their development. We have Amelia Hassett, who I thought was underrated last year. You know, she had a really good year. We asked her to do a lot. We asked her to guard the best player on the other team, rebound the basketball, come down the other end and make shots. And I thought she did a really good job of that, you know, just learning about the SEC. So I'm very excited about, you know, those three. We call them the triplets, and what they're going to be able to accomplish this year after having a year under their belt. So this year, the excitement is really in our building. We understand who we are, what we want to accomplish. We've had some key additions. Jordan Obi, who was hurt last year for us, who we felt like would have given us an opportunity to compete at a high level. She's back healthy for us, and she's going to offer a lot. We get an all-ACC point guard in Tony Morgan. Tony's coming this year, and when she got to us, I told her very bluntly, I said, look, I don't want you to fill Georgia Amore's shoes. I want you to bring your own. And she's done a tremendous job because the blueprint was what Georgia was able to accomplish. And she's okay with me referencing that, and she doesn't hang her head with that, and she understands it, and she wants to only get better. So I'm excited for this year. I think we have a great group. It's probably the tallest team I've ever had to coach, been able to coach, and we're going to try to use that to our strength, to our advantage. And I think we have the pieces and the tools to go out here and compete with anybody as long as we build our chemistry. So that makes me very, very, very excited. So appreciate, you know, you guys, your support for women's basketball. As we continue to grow this game, this is by far the best conference in the country, and we're very happy to be a part of it and try to do our part to help it grow.
Thank you, Coach Brooks. If you have a question, raise your hand. Lorna or Tommy will get a microphone to you. We've got several up here on the front row.
Hey, Kenny, Zach Gagan with KSR. You mentioned Tiani earlier and about how she didn't get too much playing time with injuries and stuff at North Carolina. What did you see, despite all of that, that you wanted to bring her to Kentucky, and did those expectations, did she exceed those last year, even though she was still productive?
Yeah, absolutely. I've known Tiani since she was 11 years old. We recruited her sister, Tamari. Got to know her at a very early age. And obviously, it was unfortunate for her. She did get hurt at the University of North Carolina, lost some confidence. And she was actually my first recruit when I got to the University of Kentucky. And we took her around, showed her everywhere on day one, which was kind of funny because we didn't know what we were showing her. We were just kind of making stuff up along the way. And then, you know, the next morning, you know, we were starting breakfast, and, you know, I asked her if she had any questions, and she said, yeah, I have a question about this and about that. And, like, right in the middle of it, she said, oh, by the way, I'm committing. I'm coming here. And so that was, I thought, you know, dang, I'm at the University of Kentucky. Recruiting is going to be easy. But that was just a wonderful experience for us. And when she got to us, week one, I was blown away with her athletic ability, her skill set, and what she was able to do. From that point on, we just started working on her confidence. And we watched her blossom, you know, throughout the year. And she'll admit that she was a little bit up and down, but her potential was through the roof. We've kind of let her go a little bit this year where she can kind of explore some more, broaden her game a little bit. And she's done nothing but, you know, just accepted that role and blossomed in it. And but I think the biggest key for her, what she's going to bring to us, is she is our leader. She's our enforcer. She's our leader. She's one that the girls look to. And she really has that demeanor that, you know, people are willing to follow her. So I'm excited for the year she's about to have. I think she's extremely underrated because she's so versatile and she can do so many things. And I think she's going to have a tremendous year for us this year.
Okay, we'll go here in the second row, over on the right-hand side.
Hey, Coach, Kyle McClellan with KY Insider. You said at Big Blue Madness that you're not going to stop until this team wins a championship. So what gives you the confidence to make that kind of statement when you've had such a short time at Kentucky? What do you see from this team, you know, that equits them to be national championship contenders?
Well, you know, I did make that statement, and that's why I came here. You know, I wanted an opportunity to compete at a very high level. And if you can compete at a high level in this league, you'll give yourself a chance to win a national championship. And I think everyone, you know, should try to play for that. You know, I don't know if anybody's going to come in and just say, hey, I just want to get to the tournament. You know, I've been there, and so, you know, you want to go a step further, and you want to, you know, I've had a taste of the Final Four, and it was wonderful. You want to get back, but this time you want to win it. And I think I would be cheating Kentucky fans if I didn't think that way. And if you're not confident enough to say that's what you want to accomplish, then you really are not, doing your job. So we have the resources, we have the support, whether it's from our administration or from our fans, our fan base. The Kentucky brand gives you an opportunity to dream big. And we feel like that if we continue to work hard, we can work towards that goal. Now, understanding that, only one team wins, and it's very hard to do. But if you're not working towards that goal, and if you're too afraid to say it, then maybe you're not confident enough to speak it into existence.
Okay, we'll stay down up front here, front row.
Hey, Coach. Brad with College Sportscast. What do your transfers going to bring to this team, your 3 transfers?
Yeah, we went out this year, and a lot of times, we kind of relate the portal to speed dating. And because, you get to know kids for a couple weeks, and they're making commitments and, decisions on where they want to go, and you try to put your best foot forward in such a short amount of time to bring people to your program. So therefore, we want to get the right type players. We're not trying to win a press conference by getting the flashy name. We want to make sure it's the right fit. And we went out and we targeted, the 3 young women that we got in the portal. They fit a need that we had. They also fit, our philosophy, our culture. And I think they're all going to bring something to the table that we desperately needed, which is going to be a depth from our bench. You look at Josie Gilvin, who's a Kentucky kid. Grew up, just loving University of Kentucky. And I think she's going to bring pride, energy, effort. She's going to bring, a swag to us. She's a great defensive player. Asia Boone, tremendous shooter. If you saw her in Big Blue Madness, I think she made like her first 14 out of 15 three-point shots. That's something that's added to us. It's going to help stretch the defenses for us. And then you have Tony Morgan, who I mentioned earlier. I coached against Tony in the ACC, and I knew how hard of a guard she was, and her experience bringing with this particular group. I think it's going to really help us. So all 3 of those young women are going to bring something very valuable to us, something that we desperately needed. And I think that's going to really help us get to a different level.
Okay, we'll go right here in front of the podium, 3 rows back.
Coach Wilton Jackson from the non-basketball. How much more prepared are you coming into year 2 coaching at Kentucky and just dealing with the SEC, knowing some of the ups and downs you faced as a team, but like how much more prepared are you?
A lot more. And obviously, you can look. We played SEC teams when I was in the ACC, and but it was just one-off games, and you never really got an understanding of the day-to-day, the week-to-week, the physicality of the game. And when you go through it, you have to go through it. I remember one coach said, "Are you welcome to the jungle?" is what she referred to the SEC as. And but you go through it. You go through it whether you're on the road in the SEC. It is physicality, and we bring something that's probably a little bit different, I think, to the SEC. We play a little bit of a different style than most have seen, and I think that it's worked for us. I think in year 2, we have an expectation, we have an understanding of what's going to happen when you go on the road in the SEC. But we also, we got a little bit stronger. We got a little bit bigger this year. So I think we're going to be able to provide a little bit of physicality that we weren't able to last year. And I think that you have to have those qualities in order to compete in the SEC because it's a very tough league. Very tough league, and we're excited about what we can bring to it.
Coach, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.